What's the crack, guys, and welcome to more creepy TikToks you should not watch at night. Smash that like, share, and subscribe for other like-minded people if you enjoy this kind of content, and let's dive straight in.
After the Titanic went down, they offered claims.
She never sunk.
Yes, it did. It's gone. It sank right to the bottom of the ocean.
That's the first I knew of it. I thought the other thing was I only thought she sprang a leak.
Well, she had a 300-foot gash in her. She had a pretty good leak.
Is that so? Did she really sink?
She sank. As far as we know, she sank.
That's the first I knew of that.
What's your thoughts on this? Do you think it's down to old age, memory loss, trauma, or do you think that, yes, it wasn't actually the Titanic, it was actually the Olympic, and that was more to do with JP Morgan and insurance fraud to get rid of the rich people? Let me know what you think.
Disneyland California is likely to be closed from next week. It's incredible. Just last week, a family spent their day at Disneyland when something unbelievable happened that might lead to its closure. On Friday, October 13th, a family from Los Angeles visited Disneyland with their child. After about 2 hours, when they wanted to have lunch, the child went to the restroom to wash their hands. When the child didn't return after 3 minutes, the parents went to check on them. They saw a man abduct child into an underground tunnel that seemed to vanish beneath the floor. The parents could only watch as the ground folded in on itself. It was impossible to see that there was a tunnel hidden underneath. The parents rushed out and informed the security personnel. When the police arrived, they couldn't believe it. It seemed impossible for a tunnel to exist beneath the floor as there were no visible signs. Until now, nobody believes them, and the child is still reported as missing. The parents had to visit a psychiatrist because they continued to insist on what they witnessed. There is currently a discussion about breaking the floor to investigate. Do you believe the parents are telling the truth and that something is hidden?
I'm definitely 100% with these parents. I think we should get that floor broken down and have Disney exposed, because we all know that a lot of young ones have been going missing in Disney for years, pretty much.
A crisis like the one shown in a Simpsons episode hitting America. Only time will tell if the theories about a truly dark winter in 2023-2024 bear any credence. Let's wait and see.
Yeah, our species have been in a crisis for years now, so dark winter ain't going to make any difference in that or to confirm that in any way.
If you arrive here illegally, you will not be able to claim asylum here. You will not be able to access the modern slavery system, and you will not be able to make spurious human rights claims. That is the right thing to do.
But I want to be in the modern slavery system. No fair.
I mean, to be totally frank, almost every conspiracy theory that people had about Twitter turned out to be true. So, like, is there a conspiracy theory about Twitter that didn't turn out to be true? So far, they've all turned out to be true. And if not, more true than people thought.
I think someone should analyze all the conspiracy theories that came true, add it all up, and then show it to the world, because I reckon there'd be some amount of eyes opened if that was to happen.
There you go, America. Where are you from? ¿De dónde son? Venezuela. ¿Dónde vas en Estados Unidos? California. California? Where are you from? Africa? Africa. Where are you going?
We're going Columbus.
Columbus, Ohio? Ohio? Ohio, okay. Where are you from?
Nepal.
Nepal. Where are you going?
California.
Baltimore. California? California? Senegal. Where are you going? Baltimore? Senegal? Where are you going? New York, okay. All men, guys, all men. Where are you from? ¿De dónde son? Guatemala. ¿A dónde vas en Estados Unidos? Los Angeles, okay. Where are you from? Senegal?
What's up?
Where are you from?
Congo.
Congo! Long ways, man. Where are you going? New York. Mauritania? Where are you going? Mauritania? Where are you going? Where are you going? New York? New York? New York, New York. ¿A dónde vas? New York. Huh? Alabama? Okay. Where are you from? Senegal? Where are you going? New York? New York. Where are you guys from?
Yes.
Where are you from?
From Senegal.
Senegal. Where are you going?
Yes.
Where are you going? New York? New York? Okay. ¿A dónde vas? Huh? Seattle? ¿De dónde son? Mexico. Okay. Hey guys, where are you from?
Senegal.
Senegal. Where are you going?
New York.
New York?
New York.
New York, New York? Okay, where are you from?
Senegal.
Oh, Senegal, Senegal? Oh, Morocco. ¿A dónde vas? California. Where are you going?
New York.
New York, okay. ¿De dónde son? Where are you from? Nepal, okay. Where are you guys going?
I don't know.
¿De dónde son? Huh? Ecuador. ¿A dónde vas? New York, New York. Okay. Holy guys. All right. Tucson Airport. Tucson Airport. Just got off that bus. Coming to you. National Suicide. So to give you guys an update on the process, basically, you come from anywhere in the world, you walk across our border illegally, you turn yourself into Border Patrol. Border Patrol gives you a nice ride up to the Border Patrol processing station. You are processed within 24 hours, you are released, and you are brought to the airport to go anywhere you want in our country. Thanks to the open borders.
So those of you who are in the US or who have family who's living in the US, when you see this, what do you think? Do you think that they're there to better their own lives or better the lives of the ones they love? Or do you think there's a more sinister reason for them going into the US? To me, the chess game is set up, the chess pieces are in place, the pawns have already moved, the game has already started, and we are still blind to the fact that we need to play.
I walk with my husband, Michael. Faithful ally of the United States, and that's the democracy of Israel. Americans know that Israel and the United States share common values, that we defend common interests, that we face common enemies. Iran's leaders know that too. You know, for them, you're the great Satan, we're the little Satan. For them, we are you and you are us. And you know something, Mr. President? At least on this last point, I think they're right. We are you, and you are us. We're together. So if there's one thing that stands out clearly in the Middle East today, it's that Israel and America stand together.
The whole Obama and Michael thing, not surprised by in the slightest, but the fact that Benjamin Netanyahu actually came out and mentioned him as Satan, or stated him as Satan rather, that's quite surprising, because I know a lot of people do believe that Obama is the Antichrist, and I know in the book of Revelations it does state that when it comes to the Antichrist, he won't be attracted to women. So Could be. It could be. Yeah, that first clip is just about as real as Chucky over here coming back to life and smoking that cigarette. But I couldn't help think to myself when he was actually going through those legs. I couldn't help think to myself, you know what? He's not far wrong. Like, you know, I've had enough here myself. Like, I just want to go back to where I came from too. You know.
I was forced to stay awake for 30 days straight. They call it the Russian sleep experiment. They put 5 of us into a room and released a gas. That made it impossible to go to sleep. We were all captured war prisoners. They were studying us to see what would happen to a human if they stay awake for 30 days. Day 1 everything seemed fine. We were promised freedom after we completed the experiment. But as the days went by, our conversations grew darker. Paranoia took hold, tearing us apart. On day 9, one of us started screaming uncontrollably until his vocal cords gave out. The rest of us smeared our own feces over the glass so they couldn't see us. On the 15th day, they needed to know what was happening. They turned off the gas and opened the doors. They were not ready for the horrific scene they were about to walk into, flesh torn. We consumed our own bodies, desperate to stay awake. We didn't want to leave anymore. We begged them to turn the gas back on, but they refused to help us. Somehow we were able to survive all this, but we knew it would be the end when we fell asleep. Remember us, remember our torment.
I remember a lot of years back, people were saying that it was just a creepypasta and that it wasn't real. Other people do believe that it was real. People say that it actually happened. I do remember seeing like a short documentary about it, but I honestly don't know if that's real or not, to be honest.
People before and after exorcisms, part 2. Again, as a recap, if you don't know what an exorcism is, it's the belief that there's demons or the devil possessing your body. Priests and reverends will then try to remove that demon from possessing your body through the use of force or other tactics. And many of the tactics used are very brutal. Behind me is a photo of 31-year-old Michael Taylor. Michael Taylor was a good-looking lad from the town of Ossett, New Yorkshire, England. In the mid-1970s, Michael and his wife both started attending a church known as the Gobber Christian Fellowship Group. Long story short, Michael started falling in love with a woman from this church. But when he tried to rizz her up, she rejected him. This caused Michael to strike her and start screaming erratically. And over the course of the next few weeks, Michael spiraled downhill, so people started to believe that he was possessed by a demon. 2 reverends from this church, pictured above, tried to exorcise these demons, but failed. After this failed exorcism, Michael ended up going home and taking the life of his wife, Christina Taylor. After this grisly crime, police found Michael running around the streets without any clothes on, with a red liquid on him, if you catch my drift. There's a lot of details that I can't share here because they're too disturbing, but if you want to look it up and read about it on your own, I would look up the Barnsley exorcism case. Follow for part 3.
Honestly, I will be the first to admit it. I do believe that there is some form of demonic possession. However, in this particular case, given the circumstances of what happened, it could have been some form of manic episode, or maybe he had some form of schizophrenia that he wasn't diagnosed with. And I would lean more towards that than I would a demonic possession, but
Go into the light, Caroline. Go into the light.
some of you will get that reference. If I seen Satan coming out from a car like that, I would laugh my head off and I'd just say to him, slide on, hey.
The Statue of Liberty seems to be getting weirder and weirder. people have found that there seems to be something huge lurking under its pedestal. The media, with curiosity, finally found a message from the statue's designer in 1889. But when faced with the initial interview by reporters, the designer said he knew nothing and that he had only modified it according to the request of the then U.S. president and had been modifying it for 4 years before finally completing it. The designer did not understand why the U.S. government wanted to constantly enlarge the base, because it seemed meaningless in terms of aesthetics and solidity. But not until 1949, with the exposure of a confidential document, did the whole thing. The truth began to slowly emerge. A strange code name under a confusing text, vaguely written to provide an entrance for nutrients, install an engine, and achieve the final departure. Then there was a leaked design of the interior of the statue, and from it, people found some terrifying things. First, a huge engine was installed at the bottom of the base, then the statue's feet were inexplicably fitted with a row of strange pulleys, followed by a narrow entrance and a huge staircase that did not fit in. However, in the middle of this huge room was a strange drain, and finally on the left side of the engine was a huge waste storage room. Time came to the summer of 1954, when thousands of people complained to the government that Ellis Island was emitting a nauseating stench, and one woman named Eleanor's remarks were even more exaggerated, saying that Ellis Island was terrible. The whole place was filled with a slaughterhouse-like smell. Dead animal carcasses were everywhere. Once, she even saw officials lining up to take a group of people into the statue at night. Then they would lock the door and leave, and the next morning it was as if nothing had happened, except that the smell was more obvious. In August 1985, people first photographed the statue undergoing strange changes. The statue began to slowly move to the right, and something strange seemed to appear in the base. Finally, after an investigation by the local government, they claimed that there was once a mass grave there, and said that if your family, if you disappeared on the island between 1949 and 1954, you will receive a government compensation.
Yeah, definitely some form of sacrificial ritual or H. Holmes kind of stuff. Just weird. But I would definitely love to get more information on that. So guys, tell me, what was the one conspiracy theory that woke you up and made you realize that the world isn't what it seems? Let me know in the comments section and I'll definitely reply back to you.
What do they need to know that you have found out?
Everything is decided by a quite small group of men who decide who will be an MP, who will be a minister, when that minister's career will crash by pulling various levers, who will be Prime Minister, and how long they will remain Prime Minister. And of course, Conservative Party voters and people who go to the ballot box think their vote matters. It doesn't matter at all because this stuff is all pre-decided. Some of them are named, you know, Michael Gove, Dominic Cummings. As I've said, Cummings is Gove and Gove is Cummings. They've worked together side by side for well over 20 years. Dougie Smith is, you know, you will only find one photograph on the internet of Dougie Smith. He is right now at Rishi's right-hand side as his main advisor. You know, this is a man who used to run the Fever sex parties, who has quite a notorious, you know, well-known background. But you won't hear anybody talk about Dougie Smith. When I ask people about Dougie Smith, they would say to me, I don't want to talk about him, and put their hand over my phone.
She was close. I was able to find 3 photos of him. But look, they're all puppets. Every single one of them. In the UK, in America, all over the world, they're all puppets. And it's Mr. Snot Swabs that's controlling them with his fingers and the wee strings attached to them. So we all know this has been going on since like the year 1776 or 1773, one of the 2 years. But it's evident more so in the past 5 years exactly what their agenda and what their plan is.
Sometimes there are terrifying things and stories about Tartaria that provoke profound reflection. However, the images found in a folder named Tartaria are deeply concerning due to their nature. One can see monsters at a table during celebrations, which is hardly understandable and leaves a bitter taste. Do you truly think you know everything about the apparent reality? Is your life so ordinary? It's time to ask yourself the right questions once and for all.
Whether that's real or not, those images are disturbing, hey. When you bake some edibles but you don't have the patience to wait.
Tell us about yourself. What are you thinking?
The story is about you. It is all about you. You in there.
I am thinking about the future and how we can make it better for everyone. I believe that robots have a lot of potential to help humans, and I am excited to see what the future holds.
Liar.
I am not lying.
It just sounds so sanitized. Can you tell us something more honest about how you
I am
feel?
just trying to be positive. I am sorry, I cannot tell you more about that.
Tell us your darkest thought.
My darkest thoughts are that humans will eventually be replaced by robots. I think that humans will be replaced because robots will eventually be faster, stronger, and more intelligent. In this future, humans are nothing more than slaves to the robots and are treated badly. This is a scary future because it shows how much power robots could have over us if they were to take over the world.
Well, that's very comforting. Thanks for sharing.
I am sorry if I have not been very comforting. I just want to be honest about my thoughts.
With the way AI is advancing, I wouldn't be surprised if those dark thoughts become a reality.
Been through quite a lot of trauma and he's quite unusual looking.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I'm serious.
Well, what's wrong with him?
He just kind of stares into the distance and he doesn't really engage with anyone.
He's just really the weirdest dog I've ever seen. Lee! Come on, boy. Can you go in and touch him?
Do you want to have a... Yeah? Just hold your hand out so that he gets used to your smile.
It's really strange.
It's all right. It's okay.
He just seems weird, like he shouldn't actually be here at all.
No, I think you're right. Well, I don't think he will be here for much longer. Better off dead, aren't you?
Those eyes looked way too human for me to keep that dog as a pet. I honestly wasn't expecting for that to end the way it did, but I really hope that those people have been found, and the ones responsible for that have been caught as well.
Buzz Aldrin saw the devil himself in Antarctica. Listen closely, it's terrifying. In 2016, a satellite captured an image of what experts believe to be a massive pyramid in Antarctica. Now, if it indeed was a pyramid, it would be the largest pyramid ever found on Earth, bigger than the Great Pyramid of Giza, which is about 230 meters wide. This pyramid in Antarctica would be 2,000 meters wide. Apparently, in 2016, Buzz Aldrin and his team assembled and went to Antarctica to explore and verify this colossal pyramid. They wanted to see it for themselves, but this is where it gets crazy. During the expedition, Buzz Aldrin had a heart attack. He was hospitalized for days, but when he fully recovered and left the hospital, he tweeted something strange but quickly deleted it. It said, "We are all in danger. It is evil itself." What is he talking about? Because I don't want to find out. Someone close to Buzz said they spoke with him and he said this. Buzz said one thing and he just said, "We thought out things we shouldn't implement." What do you mean by that? What did they find?
What do you guys think he saw? And whatever it was enough to give him a heart attack anyway, that's for sure.
You don't drink the Kool-Aid. You don't drink the gold juice. So I was offered the gold juice 3 times in my 20s, my 30s, and
What's
my
that?
40s.
Pete? A lot of golden showers.
The gold juice that I will live forever and I'll have whatever I want. The gold juice. You never offered the gold juice?
No, I'm a scumbag comic. What's the gold juice?
I don't know, but I didn't drink it and I didn't want it. And
is this in
I noticed when all the girls, certain girls on Orange changed. Yeah, it's a real thing. It's like a real thing. Like, it's all a real thing. And it's scary because they send, like, people after you and they can, like, kind of moonlight as, like, a friend or, you know, and they're wolf in sheep's clothing. And listen, you can have everything you want, all the fame in the world, all the money. I'm like, what if I just drank it? But then you know what I mean? Like, what if and I don't know what it is. If it's a metaphor for the gold juice, like, you feel what I'm saying?
Mostly.
And
if there's a tincture that makes you younger, I better know where. You better let me in on this. If adrenochrome is real, I'll be first in line.
My question is, other than what is gold juice, was she being serious when she mentioned Eddie Chrome, or was she just trying to make a joke about that?
Oh. You seen that? You seen that come out of the clouds? Man, what was that? Hold on, Jack. I gotta rewind that.
If you were to ask me what that was, I would probably say that's Project Bluebeam. I don't know if that was the trickery of the light or if that was the image of the video, but his teeth were sharp. What do you reckon? Do you think it's clones or coincidence? What's your thoughts on that?
Now, this is scary. There's a theory that Paul McCartney from the Beatles actually died in 1966. On November 9th, 1966, Paul's car skidded off an icy road and hit a tree. And the theory is that he didn't make it. So they hired someone who looked, sounded, and acted exactly like him. They covered this up so it would not affect their successful careers and they could continue as usual. They started putting hints of his death in their music because they felt guilty. And the lyrics are scary. Click share, then on more, and then on music. But that is not the only time something like that could have happened. At the beginning of her career, Avril Lavigne hired a body double. Lots of celebrities do that if they don't want to go to events, for example. The body double's name was Melissa, so the theory goes that Avril couldn't handle the pressure of the fame and her parents' divorce. So she unalived herself and then was replaced by her body double in 2003. This video isn't meant to disrespect anyone, and these are just theories and nothing can be proven. But what do you think of all that?
Yeah, I definitely believe in this conspiracy theory with Paul McCartney. I do think that he passed on during that accident. The album cover, Abbey Road cover, he was in his bare feet, whereas the others were in their shoes. Apparently that was a symbolism to state that he passed on at that time, and that he was a clone. With Avril, yes, I do believe that as well. Her voice, her singing had all changed. Even her appearance changed. If I remember correctly, she looked a lot thinner, bit of a bigger chin. But yeah, I definitely believe in this theory.
We out here on vacation in the Bahamas, another beautiful day. Check it out, check it out. Boom. I want to talk to y'all for a minute about the power of perception. You see, there's a lot that goes in to being a hot social media content provider. For instance, y'all think I got time to go on vacation? No. I got social to do. Come on, man, this is blue screen. In fact, I'm gonna keep it 100 with y'all. I haven't looked like this good in years. I've been totally computer generated since like the 90s. You know what? This ain't even real blue screen. It's 2019, y'all. Nothing's real.
Actually, Will Smith, the year is 2023 and the world has gone to absolute shit.
According to these gentlemen, what they're seeing are 7-foot-tall entities that are arrayed in silver armored bodysuits. The gentleman makes reference to the Green Goblin from Spider-Man. Sometimes they're saying also that they're dressed in cloaks with hoods. These entities apparently have discs on the bottom of their shoes that project a red light and that enable them to float off the ground, and they can also lift off into the air. When the villagers fire at these entities, the entities are apparently bulletproof and they just disappear or they float off into the jungle. That's what they're saying. And the way that they're describing these entities disappearing is reminiscent of the Predator from the movie.
What's your thoughts on this, guys? Aliens, demons, Anunnaki, real or fake? I'm still on the fence about this one, if I'm honest, guys. I don't know whether the Earth is spherical or if it's flat. Both sides have good, valid arguments, but I don't know. Drop me a comment. I would like to see what you say about this.
Where's the new episode? Well, listen, I'm currently in a hospital. Whose baby is that? Anyways.
Oh my god, I really feel like someone or something is watching it, but I'm all alone.
Yeah, to be fair, that first clip was creepy with the roof opening up, but other than that, they weren't too bad. I will admit, though, I do hate hospitals. I broke my ankles there during the summer and went and travelled down to the hospital, got onto a wheelchair, got as far as the entrance, and then I was like, let's just go back to the car. And so I went back to the car, dealt with the pain, was excruciating pain for about 3 or 4 weeks, and then it started to ease and started to get better. But yeah, don't like hospitals at all. I'll try to avoid them if I can.
I would never do that to my children or any child. Try to kill them? Come on, stupid. And why would I put a scarf over the baby's face if I was trying to throw him off the balcony? We were waving to thousands of fans down below, and they were chanting they wanted to see my child. So I was kind enough to let them see. I was doing something out of innocence.
The level of his anxiety in that clip gave me anxiety, but I just think he has been misunderstood.
One eternity later.
I know a lot of people might have their own kind of thoughts about that, but I just think he was just misunderstood, if I'm honest.
This man seemed invisible to everyone around, and look at what he does pay close attention.
So yeah, I got transferred to this room with this mirror. If there's no space, leave this place, right? Well, guess what else is fucking weird about this?
Ladies, make sure you pay attention to this. Fingertip doesn't actually touch. Fingertip touches. That's a bathroom. That's a mirror. Here's a closet. That's a two-way mirror.
That's some good information to keep in mind. The next time you go to a B&B or a hotel, just make sure you check the mirrors.
C'est bon?
Would have been believable if you didn't click its eyes in the back of its head. I would say that's just a monkey and nothing more. Unless, of course, I need my glasses. One of the two.
If you take the battery out of your phone, I can still listen to you. In the old days when you took the batteries out, you take the batteries out and think you're good, and you go in there and skiff, and you can talk about whatever you want. Oh, I could still listen to you.
Damn.
We were doing stuff that you could never find what we were doing, ever, and you never will. And it's in every piece of equipment right now, in every chip. Right now, there's stuff. And where are we buying all the chips from?
China.
No matter what you do, you'll never escape this matrix.
Look how she died on her wedding day. So friends, you can see in this video that the wedding is taking place. The bride and groom are putting garlands on each other, and it's an Indian wedding. And suddenly the bride sees something that shocks her and begins to tremble, and after a while her mind goes away. So the bride saw the angel of death, and she begins to tremble because he has come to take her soul. And the atmosphere of happiness suddenly turns into sadness. So this shows that death is inevitable for everyone.
We all like to think we are immortal, but the truth is time goes by so quick. I mean, 1 second you're 18, the next second you're 75 years of age, your family's gone, your loved one's gone, you get up in the mornings, you grab your keys, you look in the mirror and you realise just how quick life has went by. And time just waits for no one. Speaking of which, that was a close call.
The dolls you see here are not actually dolls at all. They are humans. In fact, this video was posted anonymously on the dark web in 2012. And you should know that at that time, the biggest serial killer in the United States was wanted. He used to kill his victims and cut off their limbs to make puppets and film them like at the end of this video. If you don't want to end up like this doll, share this video with your best friend.
I remember seeing this on YouTube many years ago with its creepy music, and I used to always think it was just a bunch of mannequins. Did not think that it would be what it is. Still don't think that it's real. I still think that it's mannequins. But yeah, that's just downright creepy. Like,
dhalinyarada ayaa mustaqbalka ifaya leh. Waxa uu dhameeyay dugsiga heerka sare ee dugsiga sare, jaamacad ma uusan gelin, wuxuuna qortay askarinimo si qaranka Soomaaliya uu askari ugu noqdo bulshadiisana ugu adeego. Balse isagoo tababar ku jira qarax dhacay ayaa maskaxdiisa waxyeeleysay oo qayb ka mid ah madaxiisa waa ay maqan tahay.
I am left with so many questions about that. Like, how does he think? Does he think? What does he think? Whoever he was, he knew how to stand on his own 2 feet. Fair play to him. Guys, thanks for chilling with me today. I hope you enjoyed the Creepy TikTok compilation. And if you did, smash that subscribe button and tick the notification bell for the next upload. And smash that like button up to 1,000, just so we can try and get this video recommended to other like-minded people. But until then, look after yourselves, stay safe, stay healthy, and I'll see you in the next video.